Today, I want to share the most profound wisdom I've ever encountered. Something we all need to understand, yet something we often try to avoid thinking about. This is a topic that touches every single one of us, because no one can escape what I'm about to discuss. I'm going to tell you about three things that simply don't exist in this world. Three things we know with absolute certainty, and three things we'll never truly understand. For everyone walking through this journey of life, please stay with me until the very end. Living in this world means finding true peace within ourselves. It means not being shaken or disturbed by whatever life throws at us. Think of it this way. When you're on a boat in the middle of the ocean, you don't pray for the waves to stop crashing or the wind to stop blowing. Instead, you say to yourself, let the waves come. Let the wind blow. I have a strong vessel. I know how to navigate, and I can handle whatever nature brings my way. This mindset, this ability to release your grip on controlling everything around you, this is what we call true liberation. When you first met your spouse, they seemed absolutely perfect, didn't they? But as life unfolds, you begin to notice the little things that bother you. Even the child you carried, the one you raised with your own hands, grows up and wants to live life on their own terms. How could we possibly expect everything in this world to go exactly according to our plans? When the waves of life rise up, learn to ride them. When the seas are calm, take time to enjoy that peaceful moment. There's absolutely no need to be disturbed or upset when things don't unfold the way we hope they would. Most people will tell you that the purpose of life is to be happy. But here's what they don't understand. As long as you're chasing happiness, unhappiness will inevitably follow. They're like two sides of the same coin, always traveling together. True contentment comes only when you can let go of even your desire to be happy. As I've grown older, I've started receiving different kinds of news from old friends. News that they've passed away. You know the saying, no news is good news. When there's silence, it usually means they're still with us. Not long ago, I attended a funeral at the crematorium. From the entrance, there was a long line of funeral cars waiting their turn. When a coffin is lowered into the electric furnace, a digital sign appears with the person's name and the words cremation in progress. After about 40 minutes, it changes to cremation complete. Technology has made even this process more efficient and streamlined. When the process is finished, white bone powder emerges on conveyor belts. An entire human life reduced to about one container's worth of remains. Staff members carefully collect this powder and distribute it to family members, who place it in urns and return home. Unless it was a particularly tragic or untimely death, families don't seem to cry as much anymore. Children who came with their parents sit in waiting rooms, eating snacks and playing games. I even heard one family member refer to their loss as a peaceful passing. On that same day, a 3-year-old child was also cremated. When that tiny coffin was lowered, the young mother turned away and wept. The amount of remains was heartbreakingly small. When you look at bone powder up close, it's white dust with a grayish tinge. The particles are so fine they look almost like flour. This is how all of our stories end, whether we're young or old. We live one lifetime and then we depart. That's the simple truth of human existence. From the moment we're born, we're all on a journey toward the same destination. We are beings whose fate is ultimately death itself. Someone who was here just moments ago suddenly becomes nothing more than powder. This has nothing to do with the grief of those left behind or the mourning rituals we create. It simply tells us that their time in this world has come to an end. When death comes, all words cease. The deceased cannot tell the living what death is like. The dead cannot even perceive their own death. We humans simply die. We don't get to experience death itself. Once we're born, aging becomes inevitable. Once we age, death becomes inevitable. And here's the thing, neither birth nor death allows for practice runs. We need to think deeply about the weight of life and the lightness of death. Perhaps it's precisely because death is so remarkably light that we're able to bear the weight of the life we have remaining. We don't need excessive desires or heavy burdens weighing us down. Death is as natural as the sunset, as rain falling, as wind blowing. It arrives suddenly without any advance notice or warning. As we grow older, we naturally begin to fear death. But there's really no need for this fear. We should approach dying as simply as we approach our daily routines. Washing our faces, shaving, brushing our teeth. Just prepare whatever needs to be prepared beforehand. Die without creating financial burdens for others. Leave without making life difficult for those around you. Don't be clingy or leave behind complicated messes for others to clean up. If you've borrowed something, pay it back before you go. If you have something left to give it all away. Wear clean clothes and leave with dignity. A renowned psychiatrist once described the process of dying as moving through several distinct stages. First comes denial. Why do I have to die? Then anger, then bargaining for just a little more time, then depression, and finally acceptance. Not everyone goes through these stages in the same order. Some people deny their mortality right up until the end, doing everything possible to fight it. Others resign themselves to it from the very beginning. People who believe their lives have been truly meaningful, and those who have witnessed others die with grace and dignity, tend to accept their own death more peacefully. When you're facing death and you start going through the drawers and storage spaces in your home, there comes a moment of deep sadness. You realize that an entire lifetime has been spent accumulating what amounts to nothing more than piles of junk. It's only when death is approaching that we finally understand. Almost everything we held on to so tightly was essentially worthless, and yet we never got around to doing the things we truly wanted to do. Why did we spend our lives gripping so tightly to things that didn't matter? Life is said to be a series of regrets, and when we look back at all those years driven by greed and desire, the feeling is overwhelmingly empty. Our entire existence can start to feel meaningless. If human life ultimately leads to death anyway, perhaps we should approach that ending with a more positive attitude. We need to think about what makes for a beautiful old age and what it means to die with grace and dignity. Since death is unavoidable, this is an unchanging fact. I hope you'll spend your remaining time filling your life with truly meaningful experiences and relationships. There are 3 things that simply don't exist in this world. First, there are no perfect answers to life's biggest questions. Second, there are no real secrets. Everything eventually comes to light. Third, nothing in life is truly free. Everything has a cost. There are 3 things we know with absolute certainty about death. First, every person will definitely die. Second, we die alone, regardless of who's around us. Third, we cannot take anything with us when we go. And there are 3 things we'll never know about our own death. We don't know when it will happen. We don't know where it will happen. We don't know how it will happen. This is why we must always be prepared, living each day as if it could be our last. While everyone is born in roughly the same way, there are countless different ways to die. We must always love and care for others, fulfilling our duties and responsibilities, right up until our given time comes to an end. That's what it means to live a full and meaningful life. Live each day with genuine happiness and appreciation. The ability to walk, to eat, to have conversations with friends. Being alive right now is incredibly precious and something to celebrate every single day. Life is like a picnic, a brief outing where we get to enjoy ourselves before it's time to pack up and go home. That's all it is, and that's all it needs to be. Life is far too short to waste on worry and stress. You might feel like each day drags on forever, but those of us who are older can tell you, when you look back, life passes by with incredible speed. My elderly mother says this constantly these days. Each of us gets just one trip through this world, and time moves like wind, swift and unstoppable. The years never pause or wait for anyone. This makes each day incredibly precious. There will always be things we wish we could hold on to, and plenty of regrets about things we wish we'd done differently. But if we can't stop what's already passing by, then we need to live with laughter and joy, like people on a wonderful picnic. Don't live life frantically, rushing from one thing to the next. Don't be greedy or demanding about what life should give you. Take time to rest on the journey there, rest again on the way back, and find moments to pause whenever you can along the way. Cherish each day that's given to you for exactly what it is. Live with gratitude and appreciation. Don't treat your days as if they're just stepping stones. to reach some future goal or achievement. The wisest people throughout history have recommended this approach to life, treating it like a picnic. We didn't come into this world to work ourselves to death. We didn't come here just to achieve success and accumulate things. Those are secondary concerns, tools to help us live, but they're not the main purpose. We've received life as a gift, one precious lifetime to enjoy and experience. Countless souls are still waiting their turn in the vast waiting room of the universe. Don't treat your life as merely a means to an end. Life itself is the purpose, the destination, the whole point. When people go on a journey, they don't travel just to reach some final destination. The journey itself is what matters. The experiences, the people you meet, the beauty you witness along the way. Please, I encourage you to truly enjoy this journey you're on. If your life story is filled only with struggle and suffering, then you're missing the whole point of being alive. Find happiness and joy even in the midst of difficult times. Let go of unnecessary attachments and desires. Live your life like someone on a delightful picnic. When you meet someone who's aging gracefully, the whole world seems more beautiful. In true aging, there's freshness and vitality, not staleness or decay. People who age gracefully may move more slowly, but they're not stagnant or stuck. Aging and becoming stale might look similar when you write the words, but their meanings lead in completely opposite directions. When aging combines with staleness, nothing remains but emptiness and despair. If growing older only means becoming stale and lifeless, then life becomes nothing more than a slow march toward death. But when you age without becoming stale, life becomes new and fresh every single day. Your body may grow older, but your heart and character can become more vibrant. A richer, more mature life unfolds, and deeper wisdom begins to emerge. Even in old age, you can maintain a youthful heart. Though your body is aged, your character can remain fresh and vital. Conversely, even young people can have stale, lifeless hearts. Though their bodies are youthful, their character may already be in decline. Growing older on the outside while becoming fresher on the inside. This is what beautiful aging looks like. Growing more stagnant internally while aging externally. This creates an ugly, depressing kind of old age. Everyone who is born will inevitably grow older. But if your heart remains fresh and vibrant, you never truly age, no matter how many years you live. Aging gracefully is one of life's most beautiful achievements. A beautiful old age, reborn with gentle grace and wisdom, is far more magnificent than the ignorant wildness of youth. Are you afraid or ashamed of growing older? That fear only exists because your heart is aging prematurely. Try refreshing your heart, renewing your spirit with vitality and curiosity. The wrinkles that appear with age show the weight of a life fully lived. They represent how much you've matured and grown. Aging isn't an enemy to be feared. It's a source of new wisdom and understanding. You never know which breeze will cause a leaf to fall, but even though that leaf hits the ground in just an instant, if you watch carefully, you'll see it's not falling in desperation or agony. It's dancing. Before leaves fall, their final appearance is the gorgeous colors of autumn foliage. The final years of a human life should be just as radiant, like autumn leaves in their full glory, more elegant than spring flowers, as majestic as well-painted autumn scenery, like the breathtaking glow of sunset. The true study of life involves learning to escape from two powerful forces, the temptations and distractions of living, and the terror and fear of dying. The path toward death is like walking down a steep hill as you age. Life's uphill climb is certainly difficult, but the downhill journey can be even more challenging. That's why we must learn how to descend that hill gracefully and with dignity. A close friend of mine once told me about his father, who spent his entire life farming in a small mountain village. When this man was dying, he called his son to his bedside and shared his final words. "Your mother worked so hard all these years, lighting fires in every room to keep the house warm. Please make sure to install a proper heating system for her." When I heard this story, I was deeply moved and thought about it for a long time. This farmer approached death as naturally and simply as he had driven cattle to the fields every morning of his working life. To reach this level of acceptance and peace requires deep inner strength and many years of wisdom. Not everyone can achieve this kind of graceful surrender. Here's a truth we must all understand: life is heavy, but death is light. If medicine's primary goal is to fight death and defeat it at all costs, then medicine will lose every single battle. Yes, we need doctors who can heal broken bodies and stitch people back together when they're injured. But we also need doctors who can guide people peacefully through their final journey when their time has come. Death should be embraced gently and accepted with grace, not fought against as if it were an enemy to be conquered. Using machines and tubes to keep someone alive when they've already lived a full life and are ready to go serves no meaningful purpose. We must be able to let those who are dying peacefully depart without clinging to them out of our own fear. Only then can we truly honor their passing with dignity and respect. The person who's leaving, the family members left behind, and the medical profession itself all must learn to embrace this lightness and let go. When you look closely at bone powder, you can understand the full meaning of life. It's through accepting this ultimate lightness that we find the strength to carry the weight of living. Throughout history, great leaders have lived brilliant lives and then departed. Emperors who built vast empires, visionaries who created incredible wealth, political figures who seemed destined to rule forever, they all eventually left this world behind. Among all these people who lived such remarkable, powerful lives, which one would you say you truly envy? Whether we walk slowly through life or run as fast as we can, we're all given exactly the same thing: one lifetime to live. Some of us will have shorter lives, others will live much longer, but in the end, we all travel to the same destination. Love and cherish the precious time you've been given. Rather than dwelling on past mistakes and regrets, focus your energy on making your remaining days as beautiful as possible. This is how we create a truly happy world. Feel gratitude toward everything around you: the wind that blows, the stones beneath your feet, the invisible connections between hearts. Share genuine laughter with the people you care about. This is how you become rich in spirit. Don't cling to heavy burdens that you cannot take with you. We come into this life empty-handed, and we leave empty-handed. That's the simple truth. Let go of everything that weighs you down. The painful experiences from your past, the wounds in your heart that won't heal, the useless worries that consume your thoughts, all the regrets that keep you stuck. None of these things are worth holding on to. If you keep struggling to carry all these heavy burdens, life quickly becomes exhausting and overwhelming. Even last night's dreams lose all meaning once you wake up. Yesterday's beautiful spring day is already hidden behind the shadows of today. Release your grip on whatever you're clutching so tightly. Become lighter, freer, more at peace. If you're going to have to leave this world eventually anyway, why not let go of all those heavy burdens now? Live in a way that allows you to depart as peacefully as you first arrived. If you're someone who's struggling with guilt and self-blame about the past, or if you're filled with anxiety and worry about what the future might bring, please don't torment yourself over things that haven't even happened yet. Both guilt about the past and anxiety about the future steal happiness from the present moment, which is the only moment you actually have. Focus your attention on right now, this very moment. Enjoy the present without regret or worry. Release those negative emotions that drain your energy. Concentrate fully on this moment you're living in. This is the path to creating a genuinely happy life. Think of your later years not as the end of your story, but as the beginning of an entirely new chapter. Using this time wisely to live with happiness and fulfillment is the special assignment that comes with growing older. Enjoy and appreciate what you have when you have it. Accept what you lack with grace and resignation. Simply endure circumstances as they are. There's no need to worry constantly or cause yourself unnecessary pain. Every single day is a precious gift of life. Make a deliberate effort to live each day as meaningfully as possible. Strive to become someone whose existence has real value and purpose. This is how you honor the incredible gift of life you've been given. Choose to love others, to forgive, to feel and express gratitude. Choose to encourage people, to offer genuine praise, and to find joy in whatever work you do. Positive thoughts and attitudes are how you choose happiness. Harboring hatred, jealousy, constant complaints, resentment, and grudges against others. These choices inevitably lead to your own unhappiness. The more you can reduce greed and unrealistic expectations, the more comfortable and peaceful you'll become. The more you increase love, gratitude, and hope in your life, the more joy and happiness you'll experience. Enjoying a simple, modest way of living is choosing happiness. Pursuing excessive luxury and indulgent living only plants the seeds of future unhappiness. Except in very unusual circumstances, both your health and your financial situation are largely the result of how you've chosen to live your life. The life you've chosen has created the person you are today. Happiness and good health aren't gifts that just fall from the sky. They're created through your own preparation, effort, and wise choices. How did you spend today? Try starting each new day with genuinely positive thoughts. Those positive thoughts will transform how your entire day unfolds. When daily positive thoughts and efforts accumulate over time, your whole life gradually becomes a good and meaningful life. Please stay strong and keep moving forward today. I truly hope that my encouragement and support reaches every person who hears these words. Life isn't about sitting around waiting for the storms to pass. It's about learning how to dance joyfully in the rain. People who live with genuine hope in their hearts can dance beautifully even when there's no music playing. Hope isn't just wishing for things to work out well. True hope is having unshakable faith that things will work out, regardless of how difficult they might seem right now. When your heart is filled with joy and deep conviction, you'll find yourself enthusiastically embracing life, without anyone having to encourage you or tell you how. Whenever you're starting something new or challenging, hold on to the belief that it will surely succeed. You're doing well right now, at this very moment. You're going to continue doing well in the future. Believe in yourself with complete confidence. Keep walking forward, looking ahead toward what's coming next. Finally, let me leave you with this beautiful truth. When the wonderful picnic of this life comes to an end, we'll all look back and be able to say with deep satisfaction, it was beautiful. Thank you for joining me in today's reflection on life's deeper wisdom. I wholeheartedly support each of you as your lives continue to ripen like golden fruit, growing more valuable and meaningful with each passing year.